Hey, I'm Jenna. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you 4 borders that you can make using hand embroidery with only beginner stitches. So I made these 4. The idea is that, okay, let me back up a little bit. These are napkins that I needed for my wedding. The venue, a couple days before the wedding, said, hey, we didn't have as many napkins as we thought, so I Amazoned some napkins. And now I just have them, and it feels like they are kind of sentimental, but kind of not. So I'm trying to repurpose them. Now we can begin. I am trying to repurpose these ones for Easter because like the colors seem to like Eastery. So here's some of the designs I did. This is 1, 2, 3, and then I think 4 is my favorite. I'm gonna show you how I made all 4 of those. And I said today that's what we're doing, but actually today I'm leaving for my honeymoon. So I'm in like adventure mode. We're going to Antarctica and I'm really excited. So we're gonna leave for the airport in like 10 minutes. But while we are in the cold, please enjoy this video about doing hand embroidery on borders. Okay, I'm recording this at the airport, so please excuse any background noises. First step is just going to be to create your outline for your scallop. So you can really use any 2 arches that are one larger, one smaller. The placement is up to you, but just make sure that there's a little bit of room at the top of your arch because you're going to be stitching on the outside of that line, so you don't want it to go all the way to the edge. Once you're happy with your placement, the next step is to do a backstitch to create an outline on those 2 lines that you drew. Once you're done stitching your outline, you are ready for your buttonhole stitches, which is really just a series of knots around the design. You're going to get down through the outside of the bottom loop, or the bottom kind of like arch you've made. Leave some slack when you pull your needle through. Come up through the top of the arch on the outside, in that slack, in that little loop, and then pull, which creates a little knot. And you're just going to continue that all the way around the design. Okay, I'm just calling this one elegant border because I don't know the name of this shape, so if you do, please drop a comment down below. But what we're doing here is overlapping a shape to create a nice pattern, and we're going to just use a whipped backstitch to do that. I'm starting with 2 parallel lines to create a nice border for the pattern. I made this stencil just out of paper, tracing a shape that I found on Canva that, again, do I know the name of it? No. Do I hope someone in the comments does? Yes, I do. I'm overlapping the rectangle edge of the pattern to give it a little bit of a kind of more detailed design. As a refresher on the whipped backstitch, we're first going to do the backstitch. So you start with 1 stitch length forward, and then the rest of the stitch is going a stitch length forward under the fabric, coming up and going back through the prior hole, which creates this nice line without gaps in between. And just continue that, outlining the entire design. When you're ready to add the whip, what I did here was start whipping every other design to give it an overlap effect. And as a refresher on the whip part, you're going to come up through the thread, and then you're going to go under each prior stitch that you had made without picking up any fabric. In order to keep that nice whipped kind of spiral, you're going to want to stay on the same side of the thread. So here you can see I started on the right side, and I'm going to keep pulling my needle through the right side of each of these stitches, not picking up any fabric. This pattern starts out with a wave, so some people can just draw a wave. It turns out I can't. I found a wave on Canva, traced it, made a stencil out of paper, and then drew my wave with water-soluble pen. So there's no shame if you can't draw a wave, but if you can obviously skip this step. This border is made with a reverse chain stitch, so you're going to come up through your fabric and make a small stitch forward. That stitch is going to serve as the anchor for your first chain. Now you're ready to make your first chain link, so you're going to go 1 stitch length forward, come up through the fabric, loop through that anchor stitch, and then go back down the hole that you came up through or right next to it. And from there, you just continue on with each chain being your next anchor, so they're going to link together, and you can follow the line, making a nice wavy pattern. For this pattern, I recommend using 6 strands of embroidery floss to give it that nice chunky look. The last border here is a basket weave stitch inspired by a little Easter basket. You're going to start doing 2 parallel lines. Here I did them about a 1/2 inch apart, and I think you could do it a little bit farther apart if you wanted, maybe like 3/4 or an inch even. I used 6 strand thread here, and that worked out great for me. Once you have the line placement where you want it, you're going to start doing your perpendicular threads, which you're going to be weaving through. So here I alternated pink and blue. So just went down, connecting those 2 lines. Your final step here is just going to be to add the weave. So you're going to take I used white thread, but white thread up, starting at the bottom and going over and under, weaving through the pink and blue thread that you've done before. The nice thing about alternating is that when you're going across, you're going to be picking up the same color because it's alternating. So like you'll be going under all pink and then going under all blue, and I think it keeps it nice and orderly. Thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe, and if you are getting some inspo from this video and doing some embroidery, please drop a comment down below to tell me what you're working on. Bye!